Welcome in, everyone. If you can hear me, it means things are working. Welcome into Primetime Tuesday number 4. I am your host, Vodible, and we have some great matches. We're changing up the format a little bit, having two different brackets, an East bracket and a West bracket. I think we have 31 East teams and 13 West teams. East bracket starts now. West bracket starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time or 9 p.m. Eastern time. But we don't have much time to wait because we have our first round of Swiss, because that's what we're doing. 5 rounds of Swiss for the East, 4 rounds for the West, and then a top 4 single elimination bracket with a best of 3 final. Top 2 get prizing for 105, 75, and 30 for each of those brackets. But as I mentioned, we don't have any further to wait. We got Zephyr, we got K-Bot for our first matchup. It's going to be LP Thieves versus Winton from Overwat, which is just a great name, and that's part of the reason why I chose that. But we do have Zephyr, we have K-Bot. I keep rambling on because we're getting things ready. So, gentlemen, take it away.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Patch Time Tuesday. My name is K-Bot, and I am joined by Zephyr. Zephyr, should be some exciting stuff we've got in store. Our first match of the night. It'll be between LP Thieves and Winton from Overwat. As Vaughn was saying earlier, I don't know how these teams come up with their team names, but the nice Overwatch callback is a good one here.
Good enough is it. And to just simply wrap up that point, it's if you want to make it to the end, just keep winning. That's it. That's all you have to do. All right. It's no standard further bracket. It's just win, win, win all day long. But it does mean that the challenges do get more difficult here. Now, obviously, we've seen their competitor, LP Thieves, in some of the previous iterations of Primetime here, and they have found their successors. For Winton from Overwatch, it's going to be maybe a little bit more of an uphill battle as they kind of display themselves for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the things with this Swiss format, is that these matches are gonna look a little one-sided in the first round. But of course, stick with us as we go further along. We will start to see a few more closer matches. So don't worry, folks. This one is probably going to come out with a favorite, but nonetheless, there will be plenty more action. And perhaps, Zephyr, this will also give us some time to start winding down and take a step back, especially given that we're going to night market first with an increased core speed for this map. And already, knockout happens.
Almost immediately, right off the bat here for Winton from Overwatch, pressured and punished. And it is at the result of that Juliet catering towards the edge. They're got to be a little bit more respectful, but that is going to put Count Swagula behind in this mirror matchup.
Yeah, so mirror matchup, 1 goal barrier apiece, and one of the things about this mirror matchup is that it's going to be very critical for these teams to get ahead on this first set, right? All of these strikers are going to be looking for identical awakenings to one another, so if they can get ahead in this first set and get better awakenings to set themselves up for success early on, hopefully that'll set them and translate into success in the match overall. The first goal barrier is going to fall on both sides.
Deathgun there just barely missing out on that core flip. We'll see response from Sir Panda. A beautiful side end pass to FindMucked there to secure the first goal.
Huge passing play, and that's one of the things about Omega Strikers. Always got to be available and ready for those passing plays. Now that core drift right on over to Deathgun, passes it right up to the teammate, and the Jakar easily puts it in. So one of these things, you're seeing the Jakar typically used to be labeled as more of a brawler, now is more playing this midfielder role, playing for core control, and has that shotgun blast to really secure the deal. But Count Swagula looking to make a response here.
I was about to say, with double Juliets on the field, I don't think the Jakars maybe even have a choice. A big molten core will find FindMucked incredibly low in response to some of that stagger there. Jakar and Swagula looking to step up, but it is popped back. I love that Tofu Fortress, though.
Love that Tofu Fortress, gets it out, keeps up the pressure for a little while, and now we're seeing this go back the other way. FindMucked up to Deathgun, can't quite seem to find the connection back, and there is the KO. It'll be the Juliet out for a moment. Power play opportunity, will they be able to find the pass? Yes, they will. That one goes back. It is a quick 2 goals up for LP Thieves.
All right there, and you can see how they abuse that kind of cooldown rotation from Mikemart to really capitalize on what is slow about that Dubu here. Finally, last moments once again for, we'll say, Winton from Overwatch to find what they need, but they've already lost double on the barriers.
Brilliant positioning there from Deathgun in order to be able to capitalize on that second barrier. There's the passing play coming in again. and FindMucked is there to put that back with the lock and load. And as we head to our first Awakenings carousel, by the way, you see Missile Propulsion and Spark of Agility were the first ones up. So maybe we'll see some sparks. No sparks in the carousel this time around. That investment won't pay off quite yet. And we'll see what else these teams opt for as we see some pretty familiar favorites on this carousel.
Yeah. Right off the bat, the aerials, of course, going that way. I was surprised the twin drive took that long for Mikemart to pit up, but heavy impact having this impact, well, I suppose on our carousel being that infinite choice, means that even though we do see some delay for this mirror matchup for just about everyone, it does seem we are going to even it up a bit in terms of that awakening. So a bit lucky on our infinite.
Bit lucky there. Love to see that one here for Winton from Overwat. Other thing there, the Primetime, of course, something that Kai really enjoys seeing, or the rapid fire, pardon me, the popcorn comes out. But nonetheless, another KO happens here early, but not much of a forward presence from Winton from Overwat. They're not really pushing the issue when they have the advantage, and now second goal barrier falls. There's the pass comes through. Juliet not quite there. That'll get stopped by Mikemart that time around, but now this Dubu low on cooldowns, looks like actually going to be able to clear the core out.
Mind you, Sir Red Panda is just kind of casually chilling. Not really, like you said, pressured in many instances. It is finally that Giga Blast and from the car on our top side that does do this in. But the short pass back to FindMucked, and the Tofu Fortress will keep this dominantly on Winton's side.
And you can tell, right, the LP Thieves have practiced this. They've played together before. They're passing these things back and forth. And now still trying to find this connection forward here. But it's Death Gun that'll get knocked back and rather high on the stagger bar. Gonna have to play rather carefully, and you see not pushing the issue there. Now FindMucked back up, lock and low, not gonna connect that time around, and now pass up option, but that one's not actually gonna get connected with, and they'll still find the top corner of the net. What an angle.
Death Gun pretty much perfect in terms of threading the needle there towards, like you said, the corner. It couldn't be much better, but we saw so many opportunities where they try and line that up. Meanwhile, Death Gun with the fiery fist straight in to the KO there. I believe this is like the fourth or fifth one for this roster.
Certainly putting it together here to find the advantage, and now continuing to use those abilities, finding the damage, and now FindMucked comes along to get the KO on to Mikemart. Now, both these players having to play more backward without a goalie. They're actually able to hold that goal barrier, and their Dubu's going to be back online. So, okay defense there for the power play, but again, we're still not seeing their opportunity to send this back the other way, and it's a large part of the reason why you're not seeing many of these barriers fall and not seeing many goals go in for the Winton squad.
Now, I will say for Winton, they are starting to fail a little bit prey to that Omega level there. It is a good core flip, but it is at the cost of 2 in the face of that Tofu. Pop that one back with a nice core flip. And in a 3v1 situation, it is one single cross pass play to send that one in. It is a perfect time Summer Assault, but is it enough?
Not enough there. And again, will say I liked the play early from Mikemart, trying to interrupt that pass that you were talking about, right? If you can try to prevent that connection from happening in the first place, find a long clear back to the goalie, buy a little bit extra time and wait for your members to come back online, maybe that'll suit you. But again, it comes at a risk, and FindMucked was able to capitalize on that. We're already seeing yet another power play come out here, as it's the Drakkar that's taken out. Now we'll see if they can try to capitalize on this, but no, Drakkar comes back online here with 2 players rather low. It's only a matter of time before we see more KOs.
And it's a real problem that Winton has to find out now. We're getting to the point where these Megalas are going to be 3 above. For the first time in a long time, we see double barriers down, but Count Swagula is so low, stuck between 2 here, is actually what feels like just trying to run away. While it is a setup on the forward positioning, it is still landing right into the hands of Death Gun's Flame Flurry.
There's another KO found by Death Gun going on the streak. And now it's the goal barriers down on the other side of the pitch as well. Barrage comes out, tries to keep up the pressure here. One of the things that this Kai goalie is going to be really good at, preventing these opportunities from coming out. Now able to use that on the defensive side, finally in forward positions here, but they're not able to find that same pass, and still the discipline from Sir Red Panda to find the clear back to the corner is huge. Summer Assault comes out, but it's the fiery flurry who will find the connection to the goal, and again, another quick 3-0 set.
Now, one last one here for Winton. Overwatch to potentially keep themselves on the upper end of our Swiss bracket here. We are going to take a look at the first picks, and most notably, it is going to be landing heavily in the favor of Death Gun, but there is some good recovery from Mikemart and crew if they have the chance. We do get to see that Egoist come out for the very first time, though.
Egoist first pick, folks. If you're not familiar, again, patch came out, New Awakenings, and this is one of them. Evades will refund energy. Reaching max energy will grant you more speed. So certainly trying to play that energy burst sort of mechanic. We see this Juliet able to find the KOs when it matters most. And so maybe this energy will help continue to keep up some of that pressure here. But there it is. Another KO comes out just as I say it. There's the second one. Cross up here. Summer Assault comes out from Mikemart, trying to send this core away, but it's not enough when you're in the 3v1. FindMucked will get credited with that goal.
I was about to say, we literally see everything exchanged there from Tofu Fortress down to the rollout. It is nothing in terms of the face of just getting single strike, lock and load, and then you can't handle that with any more forward pressure. It is a beautiful shot forward there, but it is still blocked out by Sir Red Panic. Going to be using that Giga Blast to once again return priority. I like the fact, though, that they are now playing double up on one side of Night Market here, trying to confidently push this core back. Core flip is utilized by Death Gun there, but Drakkar with a good evasive maneuver to make sure he does not get blocked out of the map.
Giga Blast out again. Death Gun rather low on HP and now has to again sit back towards the middle of the map, but nice energy burst comes out of FindMucked on the Drakkar, and now 8 KOs both sides. Somersault is going to barely be able to save that one from going back, and now 1v1. Core flip used. That one gets denied by FindMucked, though, and the reaction just isn't quite there. Match point now for the LP Thieves.
There was a lot of room, a lot of space to potentially find that core in terms of an alternative position. It is incredibly risky, especially against some of these players who have that upper level, higher reaction time to send it full forward here. Mikemart going to be feeling that one. Meanwhile, big damage down, a barrier gone already. A rollout to try to play this through, and Death Gun, once again, low already.
Already, and again, immediately positions towards the middle, picks up the speed boost, and finds the dash punch combination to knock another member away. Another power play opportunity. The Drakkar starts to get involved here for the side of Winton, tries to keep this up the midfield line, and now passing play comes out. This is when it's dangerous, and there it is, goes back. Not a single goal, unfortunately, goes on the board for Winton from Overwat, and the LP Thieves will take their round 1 Swiss matchup.
I feel bad, but this is just kind of how it goes, right? We start out with some of the first initial matches, and it's your pick of the punches, right? The best of the best here. And for at least the LP Thieves, they make it clear that they've come through, they've played before, and they genuinely are going to be moving on there. And you can see just the differentials in the stats alone.
Yeah, and look, you know, at the end of the day, like you were saying, that's the way this Swiss format's going to start off, right? We're not going to see many of these close matches. And I think in Omega Strikers, especially given by the fact that we're so early, there is going to be a decent amount that just comes into that skill difference, right? When we're talking about players that just have more hours, or maybe they have more experience coming in from beta, or whatever have you, there's going to be some differences. And of course, when we start to go into our competitive settings and we start to see more team coordination and team synergy, that experience also matters. It's not just about your ability to grind the solo queue ladder and find those fancy outplays in a 1v1 setting. It's also about finding those passing plays. And that's one of the tales that the stats don't tell, is just how many of those goals were able to cross up Mikemart because of that pass.
It is a level of playing within your team and also understanding the strikers that you can work with there. It's something that will send the LP Thieves forward. Now, notably, they are going to be matching up against another team here who currently holds a standing of 1-0. So it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Things do start to get a little bit more difficult for them.
And they'll continue to get difficult as we continue to proceed throughout the rest of these Swiss rounds. It'll be 5 rounds of Swiss before we get to those finalized standings and before the top 4 advances over to that single elimination. And if you keep winning, each match is going to get progressively more difficult as things continue, where even round 5 might end up being the teams that we see in finals again. So, always fun to see what ends up happening there. And of course, LP Thieves will be looking to go along with that. But then even still, if they don't, let's say they end up dropping the next one, they'll get paired against the team in round 3 that is also 1-1. And that way they can start trying to differentiate themselves there and continue start to climb up. There will probably be a 1-loss team or 2 make it into the top 4 bracket. And of course, there are going to be some tiebreakers that all come into play. And there are some Swiss algorithms that I'm not smart enough to fully understand at this stage of the game. But, that's the way it'll be. And any more wins that you can try to pick up here are going to be very impactful as we continue keeping along. And it's going to be all about keeping that mentality strong, even in some of these waiting periods where you've got to check it and just pump the brakes for a moment.
With all that being said, it is our first game, but I can promise you they get even better after this. We're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, our second round of your Primetime Tuesday.